Hi, and thanks for joining me for another Cricut tutorial. Today we're going to make some fun decorative towels using the Cricut Maker, some fabric, heat and bond, and the Cricut Easy Press. This is super simple, and if you don't have the Cricut Maker, you can make this with your Cricut Explorer. So let's get started. So here we are in Design Space. We have very little work to do here. We're just going to go over here and click on Images in the left-hand menu bar. We're going to type pumpkin in the search bar, and you're going to get all kinds of pumpkin options. I'm going to use this one right here. It is from Designer's Calendar. It's Pumpkin M47294. We're just going to click on that and click Insert Images. Now I've measured my towel that I'm going to put the pumpkin on, and I know that I want this to be about 4.5 inches wide. So I'm going to click on the width and I'm going to type in 4.5. Now you'll notice I have the lock in the lock position. You can check it here or right up here. You want to make sure that is always in the lock position when you are sizing something proportionately, meaning that you want it to keep the shape that it's supposed to be. So by resizing the width to 4.5, it automatically adjusted the height to 4.84. That is the approximate size I need to cut my fabric. But there are a couple other things I want to do here. You'll notice over here in the layers panel we have a shadow layer. If we turn that on, it's just an outline layer. You can use that if you want. I chose not to use it. So I like to keep my layers panel as clean as possible, so I'm just going to delete it. But if you want to use it, feel free to. Now the other thing I did was cut the stem in a different color than the pumpkin. And to achieve that, I went over to Shapes over here in the left-hand toolbar, and I just inserted a square. Now I put the square on top of the stem just as close as I could without getting into the pumpkin. You can unlock the box and make this a little more narrow. You can get down there a little bit, but you want to be able to get that stem part as well. So let's see how close we can get. That's perfect. I'm going to select both. And we're going to go over here to the layers panel in the bottom right corner and select slice. When you use slice, it's like putting a cookie cutter right on top of the shape. So you'll see that slice cut that piece out of there. This is the piece that came out of there. It sliced right through both of those layers, but it also sliced through this layer. So now we have the bottom part we can cut in orange, and we have the top stem that you can cut in whatever color you like. So we can get rid of these two gray pieces. And just to remind me that I want to cut this stem in a different color and to give me a chance to change my mat, I'm going to click on it over here in the layers panel, and I'm just going to change it to brown. I'm going to use a brown fabric for the stem. So now we are all set to go. All we have to do is click Make It. You're going to see we have two mats. We have our brown mat for the stem, and we have the orange mat for the pumpkin. Now we don't need to mirror this, even though we're going to be ironing it on, because we're going to use heat and bond on our fabric, and so we're going to cut it the correct side up. So you don't need to mirror it. So let's prepare our fabric, and then we'll go ahead and cut this out. I do want to remind you that you can most likely cut this out on the Cricut Explorer using the bonded fabric blade. If you don't have the bonded fabric blade, just use your regular blade housing with a fresh blade. You always want to keep a fresh blade for fabric, just like you do with scissors. You don't want to use regular scissors on paper. The same with your blades. You want to use a specific blade for fabric. And since this is bonded, you should be able to cut this out on the Explorer. First thing you should do is preheat your fabric. Preheating the fabric takes away any moisture that might be in the fabric and also removes any wrinkles that might show up once you do your iron on. Next, you're going to take a piece of heat and bond, cut slightly smaller than your fabric, place it face down on the back side of your fabric with the paper side up. You're going to apply your heat press over the fabric and the heat and bond, and you're just going to hold it in each place for just a few seconds. It doesn't take long, and you can tell when it starts to adhere to the fabric. Again, we're placing the heat and bond on the back side of the fabric. The right side of the fabric is facing my desktop. Once you have applied the heat and bond and it looks like it's set, go ahead and do the second piece. Once both pieces of fabric are cool to the touch, you're simply going to remove the paper backing. You'll notice that the adhesive is the shiny side of the fabric. This is what we will be using to apply the pumpkin to the towel. This is the adhesive side, and that is the good side of your fabric. Go ahead and remove the second piece of backing from your second piece of fabric. And again, you'll notice a shiny side. You're going to place the shiny side down on your mat. Depending how you cut your fabric and the size of your pumpkin, you might be able to get both pieces on the same mat. What I did was load one in the upper left corner, rotate the mat, and put one in the upper left corner again. This way I can simply unload the mat, turn it around, and reload it. Go ahead and send this to the machine of your choice. If you're using the Cricut Maker, I chose the medium fabric cotton setting and cut it with the rotary blade. If you're using the Cricut Explorer, go ahead and cut it with the standard blade, but again, you want to use a fresh blade and choose the bonded fabric setting on your smart dial. Once you have got it cut out, kind of check the placement on your towel or whatever you're applying it to, and make sure it's going to fit. Next, you want to preheat the fabric or whatever you're applying it to, again, just to take the moisture out of the fabric. Go ahead and make sure your heat press is set on 305 for 20 seconds if you're applying this to a cotton towel, as I am. Place the pumpkin shiny side down on the towel, and then you're going to apply the easy press with a gentle easy pressure. Go ahead and hit the timer, which is the C. Make sure before you apply the easy press that it has been preheated and has reached the temperature that you have set it to. The timer will begin to count down. You will hear a beep once the timer is finished. Next, line up your stem and again apply the easy press at 305 for 20 seconds. And that's it. You've completed your holiday towel. I thought this would be a really fun gift set to make for a wedding gift or a shower gift, and make one for each holiday. Do a Halloween one, a pumpkin for Thanksgiving, a Christmas, Valentine's. Do all the different holidays and give them a whole set of holiday towels. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. If you use this idea, I would love it if you would tag me on Facebook so that I can see all the incredible things that you're making. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I'll have all the products used in the video linked below, and here's a couple more videos that you might find interesting. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.